Yo, what's up everyone? Got some new stuff today. I'm gonna get this thrown together. Went ahead and got me the Injora carbon fiber chassis. This is a universal one. Says it'll work with the lay down servo. So I'm planning on probably doing that eventually. Comes with a carbon battery mount. Alright, I'm gonna start with this carbon chassis first. Pretty cool. Kind of like that. A little bit different than the other one I had. I had originally bought the one that went straight for the High Trail, but when I started putting it together, I was not impressed with the fitment of everything, so I ended up sending that back and then went with this universal one, which I don't know if that was the right choice either, but we're gonna see. At least it tells you what screw sizes to use. So I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna get me some Loctite out and separate my screws. Some I notice here. So for mine, I have the High Trail, so you gotta extend the body rail with these extra pieces right here. So we'll definitely need to do that. Yeah, I don't really know. This is very vague instructions here, but at least it gives you your bolt sizes to use. There's 5 of a lot of stuff. Don't know why. There's 5 of these plastic spacers. There's 5 plastic washers, 5 nuts, 5 of these other ones. Maybe there's an extra whole set. Who knows? But you better believe I'm gonna pull out this sucker so I can make sure I get the right screws going on here. All right, now I got it all separated. I'm just gonna try throwing it together. It's gonna be this side with one of these. Now, something to note: the drawing looks like these would go on the outside. But everything I've read, they need to go on the inside. So we're gonna mount them like that. There we go, just like that. I already messed up because I gotta get my Loctite. Blue Loctite here, give me a few drops in a cup, a little trash container. That's what I like to do. And I can just take my screws and dip them in. So let's take this back apart. Now that we know what I'm doing here. So it actually has 2 adjustments here. I guess you can move it in. I think since I'm the High Trail, I should put it on the outer one and just see. But that's kind of neat, you know, a slight adjustment of the front bumper, I guess you could say. I'm sure that's why it's universal, but it would be nice if the packaging kind of showed you how to do the certain ones, because, you know, I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go, basically. At least it tell me what screws to put and you know, what size screws, I mean. And that's kind of convenient. And there we have it. One side partially done. And go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now this one's gonna be the opposite. All right, here we go. We got both sides done. So that piece is there. We'll leave somewhere in the mix. This fits in next. Got this guy, because it only fits in one way. So we're gonna go just like this, right there. Fits in one direction. It goes right in these little notches. Just lock them on in. Alright, well I think next we're gonna need some of these. Now pay attention, because one of these is shorter than the other. The short one is gonna go up front, because that's where the way the chassis is. So we're gonna get that one put on next. We'll do the front one, and then we'll do the back one after. And then it's showing to go in the very top corner screw hole. So that's where I'm gonna put it for now. But I mean, you can change it to whatever hole later on, because look, I mean, there's like 15 different options here. Some of those will be used for your shocks. I think that's why they put this one way up in the corner, so to keep it out of the way in case you wanted to put your shocks in there. And we're just going to thread this bar on. Try to tighten that up some, snug it down. Same thing on the other side. Perfect. Okay, so the front's done. Got that front piece in there. Got the chassis screwed together. I'm gonna slip this plastic piece in there like so. It goes in these little notches, like I say, one direction. Make sure you put them in the right way. The picture shows a screw hole going to the front on the right, or I guess that's the, yeah, like this. This is what the drawing shows. You got a screw hole down here and a screw hole up there for your ESC, the factory ESC. Now I'm not running that, so for me, I could really care less on the screw hole, but I figured I'd set it up for you guys. Take this piece, same thing, top corner, and lock it right in there. There we go. There's our chassis for the most part. I believe it goes this way. This is our front and rear. So what I had to do is loosen my screws right here and kind of level it out. I'm gonna tighten them back up. Make sure it all stays nice and straight. That way I don't have a crooked chassis once it's done. So for now though, it's looking pretty good. For next step, since this is a high trail, I'm gonna put these little extensions on back here. One step closer, got my extensions on. I'm gonna put these little guys in here. So from what I could tell, you just need to put these two tiny ones in. And then whenever you go to put your bumper on, you'll run the other screws through that. All right, well here's where I'm at. We've got my fender flares off and based it on this. It does not look like they're gonna work on the new chassis, so it's unfortunate, but that's all right. I went ahead and took the other two screws out of this bumper, so we should be able to just slide that right out. That's our front bumper here. I still got to take the screws out of the back one, and then basically we're going to undo all four shocks because those mounts are going to stay, and then I got to take out another screw out of each side for the transmission, and then take this battery plate off, and we probably should be able to just pull the chassis out of that. So I'm going to take all that off for now, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, so for me it's a little different, but you know, I just had this ESC double stick taped. My receiver was double stick taped. And I got all that pulled off. I took my battery tray off, and I got the rest of my screws out. So I should be ready here, actually minus, let me cut this zip tie. I should be ready to drop it. I think I can just pop this out of the chassis here. Yep, one side done. And there we go. This guy is out of here. Set the shocks down, get them out of the way here. And basically we should be able to just take this chassis, get it through my motor wire here, and there it is. It's got to run let me scoot that back a little. There we go. Then you run the small screws in, and these two will be with your linkages, so I have to slide my linkages in there, run the screws through. So I'll do that first, and then I'll show you where I'm at with it. But it's looking pretty good here, looking pretty good. Okay, so there we go. I got these three. It's cool, it came with new screws, so I like to keep them all silver. It's gonna match. So the only thing I was messing with here was my servo a little. And you can see I got a little bit of clearance just by undoing the screws for the servo. I think I'm gonna put a washer underneath it, but you can kind of see there the servo moves a little with that, so I'm not sure what to do. You know, that servo and axle is definitely limiting the travel, but I don't know what to do about it yet. If you have any ideas, comment down below. But basically it comes with these little plastic pieces here. I wish they were aluminum, which actually maybe aluminum, I can't tell. But it came with these little spacers, so that'll go for your shocks. You got all kinds of options now though. So I don't know where I'm gonna start. I might just pick a spot like 3 holes back or something and just go with it for now. I mean, I'm limited on travel anyways in the front and the rear. I'm gonna try and get as much as I can out of it when I got these 59mm shocks. So that slides in. I gotta screw the 2 screws in on each side. We got the front one here. Slide that in, get those screwed on. And yep, so I'll just show you guys when I'm done because there ain't much left. Alright, here it is, all finished up. Got my electronics ran pretty good here. Everything fit. My ESC and my receiver both fit on there, and that's pretty cool. The stock battery fits perfect in this tray. I still gotta get the converter to run that though. So for now I'm just running these Power Hobbies, or I have another one. It fits pretty good too. Just gotta tuck the wires up once I plug it in on that one. Actually it comes with these little rubber bands, so I could rubber band it and tuck the wires underneath that. So yeah, that's it. Alright, well, here I am outside. It just rained today, so we'll see how this goes. The rocks are pretty dry, so I think it might be alright. Let's try her out. Did pretty good. I have to trim some fenders now though. Look at that thing though.